Hello, and welcome back to the United Devil channel with me, JB. Brazil versus Haiti in a match of champions. Look, I'm back. I wasn't sure, but I've come back. Return of the Mac, return of the JB. We are back in the house for the second watch along tonight. It's 1:30 in the morning here, or 1:22 in the morning here. Look, I'm looking forward to this one. Look, Scotland lost 1-0. It's not the end of the world. It really isn't the end of the world. It's not the end of Scotland's hopes. It is just the beginning. So look, this is the second stream this evening. We're live. We're live with Brazil, a proper World Cup team. Brazil are a proper World Cup team. No messing around with Brazil. Natasha is in the house. The legend that is Natasha. I hope you're doing it extremely well, Natasha. Welcome to the channel, legend as you always are. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'll give you the lineups quickly. They're lining up now. Foot is in the house. Come back into the house again. So look. The team for Brazil is Alisson, Danilo, Marquinhos, Gabriel, Douglas Santos, Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, Rafinha, Luis Paquetá, Vinicius Junior, and the man himself, Matthias Cunha. Spicy chicken wings is in the house. Spicy, what's up, mate? Spicy is in the house. We're getting the band back together. Spicy is in house. Foot says, I love this channel. Thanks, mate. Look, we love you too. You've just discovered the best channel on this platform, hands down, and it's all thanks to you guys. It's not thanks to me. I'm just a pretty face. I'm joking. You guys are amazing. So look, Brazil are about to kick off. Look, up front, we've got Cunha. I want to see Cunha score. I'm going to be so happy if Cunha scores. Jamie Vargas. It's only Jamie Vargas. The legend of this community, the legend of this chat. Jamie Vargas is in the house. I hope you're doing extremely well, my friend. Long time no speak, my friend. Jamie, you absolute legend, buddy. I hope you are doing extremely well. Spicy says, hands down, best channel. How are you doing, JB? Spicy, I'm doing well, mate. Spicy, I'm doing well. Mo says, yeah, Turkey. We've got Turkey in the house. Algeria flag, Moroccan flags. Get in there. Get in there, guys. Get in there with your chats. Get in there with your flags. Got no problem at all. So look, this is a proper World Cup match. JB looks like a boxing guy. Yeah, you know. I have been known switch. I have been known. So look, guys, I want to know. Get in there. Look, we just watched the Scotland match. Look, Morocco are a very good team. They're a fantastic team. They look, they are ranked 7 in the world for a reason, and there is no disgrace. Look, it didn't end up a cricket score. It hasn't ended up a bad game. Jamie Vargas. Jamie's got to be happy. USA. Look, they are sitting pretty. They are top of their group. They've got 5 +5 goal difference. Top of the group. Jamie Vargas. Happy days. JB is 3-0 undefeated. Yes, I am. I am 3-0. Do you like The Simpsons? I used to back in the day. I mean, I've been watching The Simpsons since 1989. People, I was there. I remember The Simpsons from 1989. Valley Joe says US and Mexico flags. Valley Joe is in the house. I hope you're doing extremely well, my friends. Brazil, look, when we talk about the matches, and look, guys, please continue to get into your chats. Look, this is that sort of show tonight. We will be, look, we will be talking about all different sorts of stuff. JB's meant to say Danny Simpson. Oasis, hello, Oasis or the Arctic Monkeys. Now, it's really easy for me because look, I am a child of the 90s. Okay, so when I was at school, it was Oasis or Blur. Okay, and I was an Oasis guy. So there's no point. Like I like the Arctic Monkeys. I do, but Oasis for me because I am of an era. I'm of a time. I'm of an era. 1992, 93, 4, 5. That was my era. So I am an Oasis guy because I was a teenager, and the Arctic Monkeys for me didn't come out till I was well into my 20s. So Oasis for me, Oasis has to be for me, guys. Has to be. Are we getting Fernandez? Well, Jamie Vargas, that is the question. Hello says they're both amazing. I've not heard Arctic Monkeys in a while. Obviously, I like the first two albums. I've just not heard anything of their new stuff. For me, it's Oasis as well. I mean, Oasis is a time and a place for me. You know, I was very lucky to come from a time where the football was amazing, where the music was even better as well. So I'm very lucky. Switch says I'm surprised you didn't say maybe. That was awful from me. So we said that no one nobody said Switch that they're not plebs. Nobody said that because they are. Are we going to get Fernandez? Look, Jamie, I would say I'm going to say this. I would just you know chill. Look, the Matthias Fernandez deal is United's to lose. If United don't want to pay the acceptable amount of money, then we're going to lose the deal. But I think as of now, I think we should be okay. I'm expecting us to get this deal done. The talk of Spurs interested in this player, I'm not concerned at all. I'm not concerned at all. Do you know Snoop Dogg? I don't know Snoop Dogg personally, but yes, I do know Snoop Dogg. The United Devil X Oasis collab is up. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. I'm afraid. Yeah, it is. You know, they did reach out to me. I had to turn Noel down because I said he was a dirty Man City fan. He understood. You know, he was very disappointed. Sorry, Noel, Liam, Noel, but you know, sorry, son. Mm. So, JB is. Oh, oh, switch. Oh, switch. So look, we've got so let's go through the full teams. So we've got Placide in goal for Haiti. I'm going to destroy these names. So we've got Ade, Arcas, Deverne, Del Crooks, Experience, Casimir, Jean Jacquet, Bellegarde, Providence, and Pericot. Got Cunha, Vinicius Junior, Luis Paquetá, Rafinha, Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, Douglas Santos, Gabriel, Marquinhos, Danilo, and Alisson in goal for this Brazil. You're making it sound like a Fabrizio. Oh, switch. I've watched so many Fabrizio Romano stuff. Does anybody think that Fabrizio Romano sounds a little bit like an Italian James Bond? The way that he says Matthias Fernandes. He says, Matthias Fernandes. Haiti about to have Ahmad scored. Ahmad's a legend, mate. Ahmad is an absolute. Ahmad is just brilliant, and he did score. Ahmad is awesome. Jamie says, I am a huge 90s R&B. I'll be going to Japan versus Sweet. What? So Jamie Vargas says he's a huge 90s R&B. Jamie Vargas is going to go to the Japan versus Sweden match in Dallas for Father's Day. Jamie Vargas, mate, that's a match. That's going to be a great match, Jamie. So look, Jamie Vargas, not only is Jamie Vargas a legend of this channel, he's now a super legend because he's going to go watch the World Cup. Jamie, legend. And your kids and wife are just amazing. Switch says shaken, not stirred. Shaken and not stirred. Matthias Fernandez is shaken, not stirred. Wow. Do you think Mbumo will change his number? I think eventually. He will do. Yes, I do, but not now. I love the Japanese fans so far. The guys who were wearing the England tops were hilarious. The Japanese fans are brilliant. Absolutely just quality. Japanese fans are they're just brilliant. They're awesome. Shampers. Exactly. Let's get in there. Shampers. And we'll do one. And we're doing for Sky as well, because Sky's not here, so we'll do one for Sky. Brazil will need to start fast and hard. I think they'll be okay today. I think they'll I think they'll be fine today. But look, they've got Cunha up front. Should be an easy game for Brazil on paper. London Red is in the house. London Red, the legend of this channel. Sky's asleep. Right. I do agree with Jamie though that I do think that that they've got to start. They've got to start quickly. And guys, get in there with your chats as well, and please do not forget to like the stream as well. It really does help the channel out a lot more than you could ever imagine. It really does help us out. It pushes the stream out. So the more comments that we get, the more likes that we get, really does push this out to the wider audience and makes this channel bigger and better. So appreciate it, people. Do not forget to give it a like, favorite, and of course subscribe. And if you want to become a channel member, it's all there as well. It's all there. The Japanese fans take team cleaning up after themselves. Wish the whole world was like that. They are brilliant. Here we go. Oh, nice Bakunia. Can you read your news bulletin in your best remark? Can you read your... Yeah, I can do. I can do that. Yeah. You have a bunch of subs. Well, yeah, not bad, is it? Not bad at all. I do need to. I do need to do a Fabrizio, because he cracks me up. He does. He is the bomber. I need to practice my best Fabrizio Romano impression, because he's like, welcome to Fabrizio Romano. We got the update on Matthias Fernandez. Matthias to Manchester United is very much done. I know. The talent you see on show here is just unbelievable. You get finance, you get impressions, you get all sorts on here. You get finance, impressions. I mean, all sorts going on in here, all sorts. Anyway, so yeah, look, Brazil. We've got Cunha up front. Cunha up front. I am tired. That's nice from Brazil. We need to push you to 100k. We need to push you to 100k. Look, that would be amazing. Spanny says, "Is this the Go Bridge channel?" No. See, Switch did it. Switch was on it. Just no Scooby Doo. Oh my god. Have you collaborated with any football streamers on live? I've done with Rich from United TV. I don't know if you know Rich from United TV. But other than that, no, I haven't. Oh, Switch don't even make me do my Scooby Doo impression. You've got to love my Scooby Doo impression. It's brilliant. Yeah, you've got to love. Yeah, my Scooby Doo is just crazy. Mm. Spanny, Spanny can. Yeah, that's a great shot though. Rich is a good. Yeah, no, Rich is a good guy actually. He is. Um, this is this is Stephen Silver. It is. This is Stephen Silver Street. It is. It is. And that is what I want to be known as. Um, Stephen Silver Street. Exactly. No, Rich is awesome. He's just a very laid back, intelligent guy. I love his channel. Rich is good. So Brazil look like they are. They look a bit sharper. Brazil do look a little bit sharper in this. Um, Scoba's getting big ego gone off his stream. Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is, look, Barry Bronze Age says switch. The problem is that look, people comment about him all of the time, right? Like the guy's like you either like him or you don't, right? He's a guy that you like or you don't like. I just think look, I don't really have a problem with him. My problem is the clickbait. I think right now there's a huge problem across content, and I'm talking about some of the smaller ones as well. There's this seems to be this new clickbait, awful. It's just awesome. It's just awesomely bad. It's just so bad. Spicy says Mark is a tool. Wow. Well, we all know this channel and community best on this platform hands down. Tuchel is a bad choice of choosing plays, but to be fair, he beat Croatia 4-2. Yeah, I mean, look, let's briefly talk about that game because look, there were people saying I watched talk. No, sorry, I listened to Talk Sport. So I was in the car, and I was listening to Talk Sport, and the way that Talk Sport was speaking, you would have thought that England had literally just played the most amazing game that you've ever seen. They were talking about how England were going to win the World Cup and how England were amazing, how Bellingham was amazing, how Harry Kane was amazing. Um, Look, England I thought had a poor first half and were much better in the second half. But let's not pretend that was a that was a great game. Um, so look, I think England. Don't get me wrong. I don't think first half they were particularly good. I thought second half they were. You do shout. Ah, mate, I shout at Talksport. I shout at Talksport. I really do. I can be sat in that car and I will shout at Talksport. I will shout at them. I would love to get on to Talksport. I would love to get on there. I really would. I'd love to get on to Talksport and just because they talk crap. The Vinicius Junior, nice, unlucky. Rashford scores, says Spicy. The first time England scored more than 2 goals. Rashford is my guy, says Spicy. And look, Spicy, mate, look, I've got no problem with Marcus Rashford. He he might, um, he might come back, but let's see. I can't stand Cundy. Oh God, I can't stand Cundy. Yes, no, Switch. I think you were right the first time. Um, Cundy's a prat. I can't stand him. He's just obnoxiously loud. Cundy's that sort of bloke whereby everyone just wants to punch him. I'm not. Look, I'm not. I'm not condoning. I just have to say this. I don't condone violence at all. I'm just saying that he basically is the sort of person that everybody wants to slap. But I don't condone violence, by the way. It's Haiti. I can't. Uh, I hope he comes back. No, Spicy. You know, like, there are many people that do like Spicy. I'm not one of those people that really want him to come back, but I respect the fact that people do. So, you know, for me, if Rashford comes back, then I think that it is a massive failure. But it would be a massive failure. But let's see. So Haiti have come to play. Ablong Lahore is only there to wind people up for clips. That's why I hate Talk Sport. I like when Simon Stone took on yes, when Simon Jordan, yeah, that was so funny. That was so funny. The best one is Jordan is I do like Simon Jordan. Anybody else? No. I don't mind. I don't mind some of the sort of. I don't mind some of the YouTubey stuff. I can't remember his name. The Chelsea guy. I don't mind him. I think he's quite good. Like the YouTubery guy. He's good. Um, I understand why people don't want him back, but I wish him back with the best comeback possible. And do you know what, Spicy? Right, I actually like that, Spicy. I JB says hi, hello, Spicy. Do you know what? I actually like that. Like, I really like the sentiment behind that because do you know what? If he does come back, Spicy, then I hope he has the best comeback of all time as well. I just hope it works, Spicy. I just do. I just hope it works. I said this. I said this earlier, Spicy. 8 more goals than Rashford is in the top 5 scorers of all time. But my only problem with that switch is that we're making it about him, right? You make it about him. You make it about him. Jordan's Scottish puppet is a Jordan Scottish. DJ says Jordan's Scottish puppet is a plonker though. I love it. Oh, I love it. Yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of Jim White. So Simon. So Simon. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Jim Wright. Um, get in there. Oh, offside. Oh, offside. Offside. Simon. Rory, yes, switch. I like Rory. I really like Rory. I think Rory is a very interesting character. I really, really like Rory. Um, Jordan Scottish puppet is a plonker. Jim White. I love it. I like. So Simon, what's your biggest donation? What do you mean? Foot? What do you mean? Um, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. You mean Rory? Yes, he's awesome. So did JB. You're the man. Thanks, mate. Who the Northern Irish one for Liverpool channel who walks off the stream? Oh, is that Oh, is that I don't know his name. Rashford 22-3 season was crazy. Yes. Lemon says football has lost its soul. Yes, it has a little bit. Yes, it has a bit. Can't believe Scotland drank Boston Dry. You can't believe that Scotland drank Boston Dry. I can. Scotland would drink anything dry. I mean, Scotland would drink anything dry. There is probably nothing left in any city, in any state. Think you can party. Exactly. The Scottish can party. The Scottish can party like nobody's business. Um, he has some strange opinions, Rory. He said Haaland wouldn't win the Golden Boot. He said he'd score like 10 goals. I did see that switch. I did. I was it Rory that said that Haaland would flop? I'm sure it was him. But again, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I think it's quite an interesting opinion and take. Yeah. But the thing is with him, he says it because he believes it. He doesn't say it, like you get some, like a certain person who basically just says things for clicks, right? If you watch that person from today, if you watch him in an hour, his opinion will change and he'll act like it like hasn't changed. But with Rory, with somebody like that, it doesn't matter if what he says is doesn't come true, because he just believes it, and he comes across as a very credible person. Irish people and Scots would make pubs bankrupt. To be fair, Dortmund players in the Premier League do flop. Jadon Sancho, Henrik Mkhitaryan, and Kagawa. We've had those three and they flopped. So, yep, they do flop. They do flop. Right, Brazil look decent. Haiti, I think, will eventually get broken down. It's Rafinha again. 15 minutes gone. 15 whole minutes have gone. And 0-0. 0-0. 15 minutes gone. 0-0. Drinking water on a Friday. Well, mate, it is at I've got to be up early tomorrow. Well, I've got to be up by 7 tomorrow. Yeah. Oof. It. Unlucky. I'm Spicy says I'm shotting Southern Comfort. It's MDMA. No, it is Switch. It is, mate. It is MDMA water. Spicy says he's shotting Southern Comfort. You've got to do it, mate. You've got to do it, buddy. Weather is getting better. We'll have a barbecue next weekend with ribs and steaks. I will be having a barbecue on Sunday for Father's Day. 7 tomorrow. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, that's fine. JB, when you drink, you look like Pep after losing to us in the FA Cup final. Love it. Love it. All right. Oh, come on. It is so warm, I tell you. It is so bloody warm in here. It's ridiculous. This is Pep Guardiola. Switch says this is Pep Guardiola. Bloody hell. It is. It is. We all know I'm Stephen Silverstreet, so, London Red, a member. Yeah. London Red's a legend. London Red is an absolute legend. I did actually see something as well before I came live as well. Was apparently Chelsea have accepted a bid for Enzo Fernandez. Spicy says Gark Mold Bridge. Legend, maybe. Yeah, 100%. Am I a season ticket holder? I'm not, mate. Sadly, I'm not. I wish I was, buddy. I wish I was. I'm not, sadly, mate. I'm just going to check on the. Just want to check on see if Fabrizio Romano has dropped the bomber. That's terrible. I need to practice my Fabrizio Romano. I do. I need to practice my Fabrizio. Right. Let's see if the old Fabrizio has dropped any bombers. Oof. Would love to see Argentina versus Brazil. I know, Spicy. That was awful, wasn't it? That was terrible. That was terrible. I am gonna I'm gonna perfect my Fabrizio. I'm I'm going to I'm going to perfect my Fabrizio Romano. Right. Let me see what's going on. Let's see what's going on in the world of transfers. So here's an update. Here's an update for you. That United will not be pursuing a deal for Romero. So look tonight. Yes, I did see. I did see. I did see the fixtures. I can get the fixtures up for you as well. We can have a little bit of a discuss about those fixtures because I think that we actually have a very good opportunity to have a good start in the seasons. I think we've got a good start. So the fact that we've got Coventry and Ipswich, it's ridiculous, ridiculous. Yeah, it's great. I think we've got a very good start to the season, and I think we've got a very good end of the season as well. So I'm really pleased. I think those fixtures are brilliant for us. So if we want to mount any sort of title charge, then we'll see. Um, your daughters are going to be asking your wife why you keep speaking Italian and what's wrong with Dad, mate. They've been asking that for years, mate. Um, they've been asking that for years. I'm going to be walking around the house, talking like Fabrizio. It's going to be mental. Um, they they already think I'm mad anyway. So City, fourth game. Look, we've got to play him at some point, and I think look, Pep isn't there anymore. Switch, is he? Pep isn't there anymore. So I don't fear City. I don't fear City anymore. I don't. I think now that Pep has gone, I don't think that people are gonna really fear them. Let's get on to the fixtures. So look, the fixtures. So look, we've got Hull City. We've got Hull City in the first game. So we've got Hull City. So our first games: Hull City, Ipswich, Hull away, Ipswich at home, Everton away, City at home, Fulham away. That's fine. 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 I've got no issue. We get to see Anderson 4 games in, says Switch. Yes, we do. City, I agree, Jamie. I think they are beatable. I'm not. If you look at all of those teams, so if we look about those teams, right? Ipswich, I've got a new coach. Man City, I've got a new coach. Fulham are going to have a new coach. Spurs, newish coach. Bournemouth, I've got a new coach. Chelsea, I've got a new coach. Liverpool, I've got a new coach. Crystal Palace, I've got a new coach. So that is 7, 8 teams. So of those teams that we've got to play, Cunha, get in there. Get in there. Cunha, absolute quality. Get in there. Get in there, Cunha. Brilliant. Go on, Cunha. Brilliant. Yeah. Go on, Cunha. Get in there, son. Cunha, 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 chameleon. Brilliant. Ah, Cunha, legend. Absolute. Glasner, Glasner, um, Glasner was going to AC Milan, wasn't he? But Glasner's gone to. I don't know where he's going. I think Glasner is. I don't know where he's going. Um, let me check. Let me check. I don't know. I don't know. I think Glasner was looking to go to AC Milan. I don't know where he's going though. I don't know where he's going. I know they've got they've got Pierre somebody, haven't they? They've appointed Pierre Sage. Yeah, so Palace have appointed Pierre Sage. Foot says he's working at Asda. Uh, he is. He's working at Asda. I love it. Only Asda price. He's working at Asda. He does love a bit of Asda. You've probably spoken about this, but because I've not caught your eye for a while, what do you reckon about Amorim to AC Milan? No, I'm DJ. I'm happy to talk about it. Look, I Amorim for me. Amarin for me is, and I do agree with you, London. I think Cunha and Larmans are absolutely fantastic. So, what do I think of Amarin to AC Milan? So, look, the thing is with I think Amarin, he needs to be backed, right? Switches Amarin is on OnlyFans. I like Amarin to AC Milan. The problem that I can foresee with Ruben Amorim is he's very, very stubborn. Um, Italians are passionate people. AC Milan are one of the biggest clubs in the world. They are. Um, the expectations are quite high. Ruben Amorim is very intelligent. I think that the way that Ruben Amorim sets up, the way that he plays a back three, it will suit an Italian league. I think the way that he plays with those wing backs, and he's quite defensive, and he's all about control of the ball. He's all about retention of the ball. I think Amarin will do very, very well there. I do. I think he will do. I think what will possibly hurt him will be stubbornness. But I think his style of play will basically, I think, will suit Serie A down to the ground. Just the way that he loves football. That is very. He takes joy in possession. He takes joy in keeping the ball. He doesn't necessarily really care about going up and winning a game 17-0. He values passages of play. He values retention of the ball. He values possession, and I think he's going to be perfect. I think he'll be very, very good for AC Milan. Most of the Italian teams play three at the back. Will suit his style. Upside is United don't have to pay him millions now. And look, I agree with you on the on the three at the back. His style suits it completely. So Foot says that's a Ballon d'Orgu. Yes, as the chicken wings are good, says London. Spicy is wheelchair bound. London, they've started doing barbecue ribs. I wish I worked at Asda, says Spicy. Right, so back on it. Haiti. Oof. Mm, that's nice. That's a great ball. That is a great ball. If your grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike. Um, Gino De Campo. Um, yeah, that's a good one. JB, you're laughing at me being wheelchair bound. No, I'm not laughing at you being wheelchair bound. Um, mm, um, Spice says I'm so disabled at the moment. Mm, mm. Awful, mate. It's awful being disabled. Um, as I said, I'm going to say this on this channel. We value everybody. It doesn't matter if you're able-bodied or not. Everybody is welcome on this channel. We will never discriminate against Switch because he's ably challenged. JB, no, no. I laugh with joy. I get joy from the fact that you are trying your best. It brings me joy. It brings me joy that you're willing to come onto the channel, even though you are you've got challenges, and you're still able to come onto this channel. Yeah, it is true. It is better to laugh together than cry alone. It's true. It is true. It is true. It is true. Exactly that. Exactly. It is true. And this is why this channel exists. Is for people like Switch. And look, football says I'm autistic. Look, we look everybody on this channel. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who or what you are. Well, within legal confines, of course. As long as you're fairly above board. Um, you know, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. And look, Foot, thank you, mate. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad everyone is hydrated on the second quarter. Says Paul. Paul's a legend. Switch. JB just said you're ably challenged. Um, mm, he is. But a good thing about Spicy, even though the challenges that he clearly has, he's willing and able to come onto the channel and contribute. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I'd get an electric one if I could walk to the shop. If I couldn't walk to the shop. Um, oh my god, I'm so sweaty. Oh, I'm so sweaty. Jesus Christ. At least you can move as a chicken wing. Your ancestors can't. Says for Spikey does. Welcome to the World Cup NFL version. More money for FIFA. Now, Jamie, right? Jamie, you can answer this question, right? So when we have a hydration break, your end, do you get more adverts? That's a question for Jamie. Jamie, when um when we have the hydration breaks, do you get adverts? Question for you. I'm loving FIFA World Cup sponsors. Sure, deodorant. Nobody needs to stop sweat like a FIFA official on a corruption charge. Says Paul. Um, I'll always come into this channel even when I'm and I'll look, mate. Thank you. Spicy, that's probably one of the nicest things anybody's ever said. I think that's probably one of the most. I think that's probably one of the sweetest things anybody's. That's probably the biggest compliment to this channel. Is even if Spicy was to pass away, his first thought would be to come back onto the channel and haunt us. Brilliant, brilliant. Yes, during NFL games when they have breaks, it cuts to commercials. It's ridiculous, Jamie. It's ridiculous, ridiculous, crazy. Thank God for the BBC. Thank God for the BBC in this country. Oh, we have the BBC. I know some of the games are on ITV, but thank God for the BBC in this country. Ah. Carlo Ancelotti just looks like he just reminds me of a mafia boss. He is such a mafia boss. He really is. That's the DJ farting DJ farting in the club. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. That is too funny. That's hilarious. Be careful of the Carolina Reaper wings. You'll be scared to do number 2. Valley Joe is in the house. We've got another Cunha goal as well. I'm a little bit behind here as well. A little bit behind. Oh, there he is. Oh, get in there. Get in there. Absolute. Brilliant. Go on, Cunha. Absolute. Top. Top draw. Great finish. Brilliant. Brilliant. All about making money in capitalist America. Yes. Yeah, it is. Though it is. It is. Here in the I can't even bloody talk. Here in the US, Fox Sports goes to commercial breaks, but the Spanish channels keeps on showing the match. It's crazy. It's crazy. The reason NFL players are fat because the ads show Big Macs and and spicy. Cunha hat trick incoming. The Mateta wedge. Cunha and Ahmad smashing it for us next season. I hope so. Red Devil Nath is in the house. Cunha for 2. I'm hoping he gets a hat trick. That was a Cunha style goal. Cunha's brilliant. I think Cunha this season has gone underneath the radar a little bit. I think he's had a good season. Brilliant. Fantastic. Brilliant. Cunha getting. I knew I should have put Cunha on the sodding thumbnail. I should have did it. Should have done it. Should have done it. Should have done it. Should have done it. This time we'll actually back them from the Stretford end. Dip effect. Next World Cup we'll get adverts. Maybe, Pedro. Maybe. McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, says London. Switch says Cunha tickles my pickle. He doesn't really tickle my pickle, but you know, it's fine. Cunha tickles my pickle. I love it. finally, I'm on the right side of time frame in Oz, JB. It's 10:48 in Australia. Red Devil Nath legend. I hope you're doing okay, my friend. Um, obviously, watched Australia today. They didn't do particularly well. Australia weren't great. Yeah. So who's gone down? What pickle is that? Um, yeah, I think Switch needs to explain what what pickle's been tickled. Cunha is such a versatile player with skill, speed, and style. Do you know what? I actually think the money that we paid for Cunha, I think by comparison, um, now it looks very good value. So Brazil are going to make a change. Brazil are making a change. Ryan is on. Ryan is on. JB, I timed that poll. I do think I was maybe too harsh. Just seen a lot of it, negativity towards the TV presenters. Do you think I have to double check? I mean, Paul's all right. I mean, to be fair, Paul's all right. I get it, Switch. I do get it. But look, you're a moderator for a reason. Look, I leave it in your hands. Look, the reasons why you guys are moderators is because I leave it up to you guys to because I can't do it all. So I'll say this: if you deem it worthy enough, Switch, then I trust your judgment. So um, it's cool. But mate, if Switch, if you wanna undo it, that's up to you. But I will let you I will let you decide. I'm not going to I'm not going to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to contradict you. Um, Up to you, my friend. Rafinha pulled his hamstring. Oh, that's not great. Spread the word about JB to push him up to 100k. Well, guys, that would be amazing. Thank you, thank you. That would be awesome. And again, look, the reason why I want this channel to grow is because it just means that the bigger it gets, the more that I can do, the more of this I can do, the better I can make the backgrounds, the better I can just make the channel. So but I do appreciate it. So thank you. So what's looking? Let's see. Oh, there's another injury potentially to Haiti, Haiti. Uh, it's all good, mate. It's all good. It's fine. All you've done, is he's not hidden from the channel. Australia were not great this morning. Was up at 4 a.m. for the game. I'm very much an England supporter though, due to family heritage and watching England as a kid in the 90s. Yeah, Australia weren't great, were they? Australia were not great. They were not great. Would we love your channel, JB, and love your unbiased opinions? Thank you, Jamie. Look, you guys make the channel. I'm just very fortunate to have you guys on this channel. So look, legends. JB, do you want me to look at anything else like what I shared with you? On X. At the moment, look, Switch. Let me take a look. At the moment, just hold fire only because I'm going to take a look and then I will get back to you. I really like it. I do. But I'll get back to you on it because got to be careful. Got to be careful on it. I'll send you a message back. And I'll I would do, but I think what you've done is fantastic. It is brilliant switch. It is fantastic. So I'll give you the first chance I get, buddy. I will message you back. But no, like I really like it. So I'll send you something as well because yeah, I will do. Yeah, yeah. JB, who is your surprise team so far of the tournament? I think Morocco. I think look really good at the moment. I think they've they've surprised me. I think they've been good. Who else has been good? Let me let me have a little look. I think Morocco. I think have looked very very good. Um, America actually, America. I think USA. I think they've surprised me with how look, they've not got superstar names, but I just like the fact that they're like the home team and they seem to be responding to that. I like them. I like who else was there that I like? I like Ivory Coast. I think Ivory Coast are one to watch as well, actually. So I think, yeah, I think from Norway as well. I think Norway are going to be one to watch. I like Japan, Norway, obviously with Haaland. I know he's a City player, but yeah, 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 yeah. Switch says fell down the. Uh, Bosnia, I thought would do better than they have. That's a surprise. Japan look decent, but early days exactly. Uh, Bosnia are good. Um, yeah, they're all right. USA, Norway look good, yeah. But it's always good when the home nation is in it because there's still a party, isn't there? So I am glad that they're still in it. I think I think Spicy's taking too many shots. England surprised me because if that was Southgate, we would have held off at a 2-2-2. JB, what's your opinion on the Mexico team? Well, Mexico, they've always had so with Mexico this year, other than maybe one or two players, I just they've always had like they've always had like a Branca or they've always had a couple of like kind of more well-known players. Um, I think it's a World Cup that suits them. I think it's a World Cup that suits them. And London Red says, yeah, goal. Vinicius Junior, great goal, great goal. Oh, easy, 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 easy peasy, easy peasy. 3-0, easy peasy. Brazil squeezy. They've done it. They've done it. So for me, Mexico, I think are going to be one of those teams. I think are going to be. I think. I think they're going to be fine. Um, they're not full of superstar players, but I think they've got a good team. And I think with Mexico as well, I think because they're one of the home teams and they're playing in their own stadium, they're playing in their country. I think Mexico are gonna go relatively far. I think America will go relatively far. I think Mexico will go relatively far. I think Canada won't. But Mexico, yeah, I think you've got a good. I think you've got a good shout in going deeper into the competition. So Mexico, yeah, I think the weather and the climate suits Mexico. I do. Um, gone to the chicken shop. I love it. Can't stand that. London, do you mind not putting in the chat? Some of us are behind. Done that one. Southgate PTSD. Southgate, Jesus. Well, tells you what, Brazil look like they are here to play. Any trophies for United? I think that we should go and get into. I think we should at least win. I think we should at least win an FA Cup. I think an FA Cup, maybe a Carling Cup, a League Cup. That's what I think that was. Yeah, I agree with Switch. For USA, it's quarterfinals or bust. I think US. I don't know who you're going to get, but I think the States. I think you're in for a decent tournament. I really do. Remember the talk about Southgate to United? I would have stopped watching them. So glad it. Oh my god! I mean, I was convinced. I was absolutely convinced. If Amarin got sacked, then Southgate was waiting in the wings. I mean, yeah. Let's not tempt fate, shall we? Let's not tempt fate. Yeah. Spicy, yeah. I think Spicy's had too many shots of Southern Comfort. I think he's had too many of the old shots. Carrick, he's the one. He still. DJ says Carrick, he's the one. He still turns us on. United back to where they belong. DJ, I love it. He's managed 10 games a year and imagine 50. Well, yep, yep. Exactly. Let's see. Let's see. Well, Brazil 3. Southgate he's managed 10 games. Well, let's see. Let's see Southgate at the wheel. So Brazil 3, Haiti nil. It's as predicted, really. Look really easy. I thought Brazil, look attacking wise, they look good. Haiti do look dangerous though. They do look like that they could maybe score a goal. Um, thoughts on on Ollie potentially replacing Kieran McKenna at Ipswich. Cracked my Guinness at 4:45 a.m. this morning with one game still to go. I'm bloody happy. It's Saturday and I was lovely, lovely, Nathan. I mean that is a way to start. You've got to have a tinny for breakfast. You've got to cracking open a tinny for breakfast is probably a meal of champion and a tinny of Guinness at 4:45 a.m. That is strong. That is a strong game. That is. Um, loved seeing Scotland lose. Says Gary. Look, I mean, I don't mind. But look, Scotland have got a mountain to climb, haven't they? So it's difficult. James Rodriguez last World Cup. How old is he now? How old is he now? I mean, is he even still playing, that guy? I don't even know if he's still playing. Is he? I mean, how old is he now? I mean, they've got some decent players. They really do. I mean, what is he 30, 35 now? 36 years old. Cunha looks good. Cunha does look good. he does. 35. Thanks, buddy. It's not a regular thing. I look, mate. Look, I don't judge anybody on this channel just because you crack open a Guinness at 4:45 a.m. It is a World Cup, so you know. Look, it's basically like when you go to the airport. So if you fly to wherever, okay, and you get to the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning, the first thing you've got to do is basically go and have a beer. So the fact that you are drinking 4:45 a.m. and it's the World Cup, mate, you've earned it. You've earned it. Scotland will probably still get through because of Haiti. Yep. Can't believe Kieran Kenner quit. James is at a Minnesota, I think. What do I think? So, what do I think that Ollie's going to do at Ipswich? I think he'll be crap, and I think he'll be sacked after 10 months. I'm sorry. I don't think Ollie is a very, very good coach. I think that Kieran McKenna, I don't know why he quit. It will obviously come out at some point what he's done. There's no point speculating what he's done because I just don't think that that's right. I just don't think it is. But at the same time, Ollie will last at Ipswich. I don't even think he would do a year. I don't think he will. I think if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes to Ipswich, I think it will be a disaster. So for me, I would say no. I think it will be a disaster. Pedro says that Carrick will only have success if Glinios back him. So far, we have seen Jose, Ollie, Ten Hag, Amrin not backed, and all get sacked. And Pedro, I am with Pedro. I've said so when Amrin came into the club. One of the things, my things was you've got to back him, and when I say you've got to back him, Ruben Amrin needed a certain type of player, and look, we got Cunha. Cunha's a good player. I don't disagree with the players that we bought, but we needed more. And he didn't get what he needed, and look at what's happened. So I think Pedro is right. Michael Carrick will only succeed at this club if Glinios back him. If the Glazers and Ineos back him, I think he can get results. If he's not back, then he'll go the way of every other coach. Southgate to Borough because they got robbed by Hull City. Agreed. I love Ollie for his work on the pitch, but he's not a manager. I agree with you. Family reasons, apparently, which fair play to Kieran. He's got 3 promotions and survived the relegation. And again, look, you know, I'm not gonna speculate about Kieran. But you know, for him to guide Ipswich, back into the Premier League and then quit, it tells you everything that you need to know. So you know, yeah. A tough 5 years. DJ says the issue this summer is getting who United want and not just a payday. Surely there are more Cunha and Igalos out there. Yes, yeah, there are, but the problem is, for every Cunha you get an Igalo. You know, if we'd have got Igalo when he was at Watford and maybe just before that, he would have been good. Ollie versus Liverpool. Ronaldo transfer screwed Ollie's fluid front 3. I mean, that was set up. We were set up for that 100%. We were set up for that to fail. Because Ronaldo, if he'd have gone to Man City, it would have been curtains for him. Weghorst, yeah, for every Cunha, there's a Weghorst. That is so true. That is so true. So I just think that they've got to back Carrick. You know, look, we've been talking about Matthias Fernandes, um, Fabrizio Romano. I know Matthias Fernandes. I know you pronounce it in the Portuguese way, but he don't half make it sound weird. Matthias Fernandes. Um, Look, our starts this summer is we're not going to be taken for fools. We don't want to pay the prices, and I get that. I do understand that, but I also think what United have to realise is that we're not good enough to drive the market. You know, we can't dictate the market to people. Um, and I've seen a couple of X posts, right? And this is where I agree and semi agree with things. Is if money and glazes weren't an issue, who is the main transfer that I'd want? I would, if I wanted a main transfer this season, who would I want to get? Um, okay, I'm gonna base it switch. I'm gonna base it on and I will come on to that as well, because every success does have a price. um I will come on to that. If money was no object, and um but the same stipulations were in place, as in you couldn't just sign sort of any player, you know, like for example, you couldn't just go sign, like, I don't know, Elise, right? I would go and get, of all the players that are available and the players that I think we need, the first one that I would go and sign would be to Amani. He would be the first one, because we need that defensive player. We need that. I'm almost taking Price like away from it. I think we need that Casemiro defensive style player, and two, Amani is that. So he would be the first one that I'd go get. I think as fans, if we see the players work their off, then we back him. Rashford is perfect example. Homegrown, stop trying, and then the fans lost him. No way he should be welcome back. And I don't disagree with you. Look, DJ, I think you're spot on. You know, we've had some weird look, we had a weird conversation on here with somebody that basically said this, right? So they said that the reason why Rashford left was because Rashford got hounded out by the fans for no reason. They then basically said that Rashford then got hounded out because of the colour of his skin. They then were basically then saying about all this sort of weird stuff. And I was like, but the point is that Rashford didn't get hounded out of the club. Rashford left because he decided he didn't want to play anymore. Like he decided fans adored him. There is no way. I know this fan base. There is no way this fan base is going to turn on a player for no reason. So, you know, the reason why Rashford went and left is because he didn't want to be here. And for the same reasons, I personally don't want him back. Because I don't want the Rashford show. You know, I don't want that again. And if Rashford comes back, then I tell you what, they're gonna have a very hard sell. Pedro says, what is the price of success? Now, Pedro, I see what you're what you're saying here. Um, is that, you know, look, can you put a price on success, Pedro? And my answer to that would be yes and no. Um, I think, Pedro, I think you can't go half-assed. So if we're going to win a league, so let's just say, for example, right, this club wanted to spend £500 million, right? Then for me, Liverpool messed it up, but I still think that they spent nearly £500 million. But I think you probably see the benefit of that for the next 3 or 4 years. The price of success for me is you've got to speculate to accumulate, right? and you've got to spend the money for success. We almost make it difficult for ourselves. So what I mean is, like, let's just say, for example, we buy 3 50 million pound players, and then we won't buy one player who's 125 million. The problem is, we think we're being clever. We think that we can cheap our way to success. When, if you think about what's happened now, Mason Mount for 55, he's still at the club, so we're going to have to spend at least another 55 million. So that 50 million has actually cost you 100. Ugarte. So Ugarte maybe will break even on that deal, but he was 56 million. So we've basically now got to find another player and potentially sell him, and we're going to lose on that. So then that 50 becomes, probably by the time you factor in the loss and by the time you factor in the bonuses, you're probably that's cost 70. Then when you then factor in again somebody like a Xerxes was 46 million pounds. Maybe we'll break even on him again, but again, we're going to have to replace him. The fees involved there. So those three players costing 50 million has ended up probably going to cost us in the region of 250 instead of just spending 125 in the first place. So we've got to, and we've got to spend the money to get success, but it can't be half and half. It's either we go full ball. So the price of success is how far are you willing to go to succeed. That is my view. Is it is true for me. What do you measure success in? Do you measure success in money that you've made? Do you measure success in the trophies that you win? This club measures itself in the money that it saves. So for me, the price of success is, what do you value as the success? We need to spend at least 300 or we're going to struggle. I don't think we get anywhere near 300. I don't think we get anywhere near 300. Red says, I love your streams, JB. Can we just take stock for a second? 15th last year under Rubin. Shit this year. Sacked him. Finished third. Third is not good enough, but we came a long way forward. And again, Red, I think you are spot on. We've got to take the rough with the smooth. And look, was this season perfect? No. But we do have to take stock, because we have glitched. I'll always say this. It's almost like we've glitched third, Red, and we've got a unique opportunity for us to build on this year. We have got to build on this year. And whilst I agree with you, look, let's take stock. We know the back end of the season, look, the numbers, the points were brilliant. The gameplay wasn't. We know we've got to build a team. We've come a long way. Let's see if we can build on that. Give the video a lick. You've always got to give the video a lick. Give the video a lick. Rashford thought he was better than the United and Barcelona used him. That boy's just been used. I remember the Neville Rashford interview after his good season under Eric Ten Hag. He said he was going to be better, and then his performances fell off a cliff. I would still prefer Rashford over Gordon if they were both on top form. Gordon had a much better work ethic, but Rashford is a better footballer. Did we break even on Højlund? I think we made a profit switch. I think we just made a profit. I think on Højlund we probably made, in terms of the fee, I think we made a profit of about £7 million. Valley says we'll be lucky to even spend 200. Valley, I don't disagree, Valley. And if you watch our financial shows on this channel, then you'll see that I pretty much agree with you on that one as well. What are we? 6. Any news on Xerxes? I'll give you an update of that in a second. Do that. Okay, so let's get through some of these. DJ said Ferguson spent big bucks most seasons. Relative to the time, 30 for Rooney was massive. Yeah, that was huge. 30 for Rio. Both were top class. 80 for an average player. It's nuts. And I agree with you. Look, there is nothing wrong in buying big players. You know, Ferguson was pretty good at buying big players, but you've got to do it right. You've got to do it right. JB, I know you stream at night because of the World Cup, but can you post stuff in the afternoon? I do. I do post stuff. I tend to post about. I normally do about 11:15, 11 o'clock, and then I'll do one of an evening as well. Red Dev says, correct JB, we at United need to stop trying the antiques roadshow style of buying players, invest in quality proven players. Any news on Xerxes? At the moment, we are only working on the Matthias Fernandez deal. Roma like Xerxes, AC Milan like Xerxes as well. So I would say Italy is where Xerxes is going to go. I would say over the next, look, deals are probably going to stagnate a little bit until Matthias Fernandez is done. But then I think you'll see Xerxes over the next. I reckon over the next 2 weeks, I think you'll start seeing Xerxes come out. I think Roma or AC Milan. How many Brazil? How many for Brazil? I think 5. I think 5. Foot says 10. Given the current market was 90 at the time for Pogba, 5 years worth it? No. Was Pogba at the time? Was he worth the money? Yes. But the thing for me, Switch, is this: the unique thing about a football player is you can't really judge him until he leaves. So what I mean is, let's just say, Pogba, right? At the time, was Pogba worth the money? Yes, he was. Was Pogba the right price? Yes, he was. I completely agree with you. But then when you look at the length of the deal, when you look at his time there, you can only really judge it after the event. So was Pogba worth it at the time? Yes. Was Pogba worth it? No. And again, Pogba was class. Pogba was class at Juventus because if you know the reason why he was is because exactly he had Pirlo with him, he had Vidal with him. Did he have was Marcusio still there as well? He had I think he had was Chiellini still there? Bonucci was still there. So the reason why Pogba, I can tell you now why Pogba, the second half against City was worth it. the reason why, the flaw of Pogba was Pogba couldn't lead. Paul Pogba needed a leader around him. Paul Pogba was expected to be a leader. There is nothing wrong with Paul Pogba the player. Paul Pogba just wanted to play with freedom, and Paul Pogba for me needed somebody who was a bit more disciplined, and Pogba was expected to be a leader. Well, for 89 million quid, he was expected to be a leader. So I think that's what Pogba's issue was he had Juventus, you know, he had Pirlos, you had the Marcusios, you had the Vidals, you had those sorts of players, and when he came to us, he was then expected. He was expected to be the guy, and also he was bought as well, in my view, for the to sell shirts. So you know, Switch says Pogba was a brand and a shirt seller as well. Yes, he was. Edge says the second half against City was worth it. Considering we let him go for free twice, I'd say no, but he was better than a lot thought he was when he fell off. I mean, he helped France to win a World Cup, but him butting heads with Jose hindered him. Agree with you. Um, Pedro says Ferguson brought mentality. Pogba is perfect example of the new management buying wrong mentality. Yeah, I reckon put Neymar on. That's the actual issue, isn't it? There are no leaders in the game anymore. It's as if the agents are the decision makers now. Agreed with you. If you look at if you go through teams, there are very few leaders. And when I say a leader, Red says I have the Pogba shirt. And there's nothing wrong with Pogba. Pogba, and I agree with what was said there. I think what Pedro is saying there. I think what DJ is saying there. I agree with them. I just think the mentality was wrong. I think the mentality was totally wrong. Lukaku, Weghorst, Igalo, Snog. Okay, right. So Lukaku, Weghorst, or Igalo. Snog, marry, or okay. Bloody hell, Switch. I've got to be careful what I say here. Again, I've got to say I do not agree with ending people's existence. I would I would I would I would I would probably snog Weghorst because I think he's the best looking out the three of them. Maybe. I would marry. Yes, yes, yes. I would probably marry Igalo because he just seems like a really loving guy. Igalo came to the club because he loved the club, right? I would probably, I would probably marry Igalo. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. So I think it should be snog, marry, avoid. So I'd probably avoid Lukaku. Oh yeah, this stream will always change. So I would snog Veghorst because I think he's the better looking of the three. I mean, there's not much in it, to be fair. I would marry Igalo because I just think he's loving. I just think Igalo would worship you. He would buy you dresses. He'd buy you. He would treat you like a king or a queen. And Lukaku, I would avoid Lukaku. I would avoid him. He's not my type. Yeah, I would just avoid him. There you go. What a question, Swiss. I'm laughing my ass off. Well, Veghorst doesn't. No, yes, he does. I mean, look, Veghorst has to brush his teeth. Come on now, he's got to brush his teeth. Okay, so if Veghorst did, well, to be fair, I mean, look, I mean, exactly, right? That he would, Igalo would treat you like a queen. He would treat you like a king or a queen. You would be, it would be. I think Igalo would be passionate as well. So Igalo for me, I'm gonna marry Igalo every day of the week. I'm still gonna snog Veghorst. I don't care if he brushes his teeth or not. Oh, Vinicius. Yeah, you could be king or queen. Um, I'm not assuming. People identify as all sorts. You could want to be a queen. Um, Brazil should have selected Pedro instead of Neymar. I know, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. This is so random. Look, don't look. Blame Switch. Blame Switch. If your wife overhears this, she won't care. She won't care. She thinks I'm mental anyway, so it's fine. There'll be words in the morning. Nah. She'll be all right. She'll be all right. I'm just having a bit of a check. Anything new? Anything new from Fabrizio Romano? Hoping we can see Anderson play to see what's up. Yes. Would you prefer a tiara, a crown, or a bandana? Would you prefer a tiara, a crown, or a bandana queen? It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be a tiara. It's got to be because a crown's too heavy, right? A tiara, you get all the you get all the you get all the best bits. You get all the best bits of a crown, but it's just not as heavy. And then a bandana. Well, come on now. I wasn't born in a barn. Hoping we can get to see Edison to see what's up. Sorry, I said Anderson. I mean Edison. I told you I'm snogging Veghorst. That is who I'm going to snog. That is what I would say to her. I'm saying I'm snogging another man. My wife would think the same. Nath is just talking about this man crushes. Yeah, look, and guys, I'm not saying I fancy Veghorst. I just need to make this clear. I'm not saying I necessarily fancy Veghorst. It doesn't look. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You can like who you like. I am not here to judge. I'm put in a situation whereby I have to marry somebody, snog them, or avoid them, and in that specific situation, I'd have to give Veghorst a little peck on the cheek. JB would like a garter. Maybe. I'm a classy girl. I am a classy girl. Yeah, JB brought that up on his own. Can you imagine if I just started asking myself some questions, and then it took a turn, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. Imagine joining in the last 5 minutes. JB is repeating. Look, I would definitely. Yeah, look, mate. I've. Yeah, but look, I'll stand by it. I stand by it, DJ. I'll stand by it. If I'm asked a question, as long as it's a reasonable question, I'll answer it. We don't hide away from the big topics on this channel. We don't hide away from the topics on this channel. We are we are on this channel. We are cutting edge. We're cutting edge. I'll answer any questions within reason. This is cutting edge football community banter. Lads, when I married my wife, I said my vows. United football first, you're second. She actually organised for me to walk into our reception to Glory United. Mate, that's awesome. That is class. Exactly, Switch. You don't get this on the mate. You don't get this anywhere else. We are unique on this challenge channel. What football games? What games? the last real game I played um, was Dead Island 2. Um, I don't really game that much anymore. I don't have time really. When I was younger, I was a massive gamer. Um, when I was younger, the question is, would Weggy kiss you? Oh, Pedro, that is horrible. What a horrible thing to say. Of course he would. Look, he would come in for the clinch. Look, it would be passionate. It would be passionate. It would be it would it would it would be passionate. It would be passionate. He would kiss me back. In fact, I think he'd kiss me back more. I think he'd kiss me back more than I'd be kissing him. He'd be enthralled. He would just be all over it. Pedro, there is no question. He would be all over it. You know, so I can't help it. I can't help it. Um, oh switch. Oh switch. Oh switch. Well, look, he's only human. Switch. He is only human. Um, if that is what happened, you know, I'd have to give him a tissue. And he'd have to sort himself out. So um, I would not be giving him a hand. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I do have limits. I do have limits. No sensationalism here, boys. Down to earth. Look, it is true. It is down to earth. We're just true. We are just true. When you get famous, JB, I can say that I was there when you snog Vedost. Maybe one day, I'll get to meet Vegost, and maybe I'll ask him for a cheeky kiss. Who probably would take my head off. But it's fine. But it's all good. But it's all good. Yeah, I don't really game anymore. I don't really play video games anymore. I haven't for a long time. I play the odd thing here and there, but other than that, I don't really play video games. I haven't got time. Haven't got time. Um, he, oh my God, Pedro Porro is cooking. That's awesome. Nathan wife sounds like a keeper. No pun intended. JB Castrama is a team. Ah, Cunha's gone off. Martinelli has gone on. There he is. Weghorst is 6'6". He would do, mate. He would have to bend over. He'd have to bend over. And yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. It is true. It it is true. Yeah. I'm sure if I asked him politely. Yeah, but again though, that switch, look, mate, this isn't just going to be some like random, like backstreet kiss, mate. This is going to be like candles, restaurant. It's going to be the whole thing, mate. It's going to be it's going to be wonderful, mate. It's going to be wonderful. Switch. Switch. I'm a very passionate man. Switch. I don't do things half-assed. Never, 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 mate. Fucking hell. What's going on? Love Island with JB. Jesus Christ. I think my wife would draw the line at that. Love Island. I could be the Love Island voiceover. Yeah, the wife is not going to be happy with that, mate. I don't think I could swing that. Um, and also as well, I don't think they're going to want a pensioner. Uh, Hilarious stream, JB and Switch. I look, Red Red Devil. We are Nath. We are just, this channel is just brilliant. Casemiro is still playing, by the way. 66 minutes gone, 3-0 to Brazil. Haiti are football says now, would you divorce your wife for Vegas? Nah, mate. Nah. Not a chance, mate. Nah. Look, he might be rich. Sadly, Vegas is not my type. He's just not my type. He's Dutch, so I'm kidding. Snog, marry, or smack. Tevez, Lescott, or Bonnie Blue. Oh Christ. Well, I'm not going to marry Bonnie Blue, so that's yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass. I would. I do not want to snog or marry Bonnie Blue. You don't know what you'd get. Tevez. Ugh. I'd probably smack Tevez. Because I think he does deserve a smack. I would probably marry Lescott. Lescott seems all right. He might have played for Man City, but Lescott seems all right. To be fair, I'd probably marry Lescott, and then I'd what was the other choice? But then I've got a snog Bonnie Blue, haven't I? No. So I'd have to smack Tevez. Oh God. See now, look, I've got to see now. I've got to snog Bonnie Blue, because otherwise, on all of these polls, I'm going to end up snogging all men, right? So I can't be having a reputation, right? So So I'm gonna snog Bonnie Blue. I'm gonna marry Lescott, and I'm gonna smack Tevez. There you go. So it says I'm gonna snog Tevez, then run away. I'm gonna snog Tevez, run away, marry Lescott, and smack Bonnie Blue because she. Yes. He's changed his mind. Smack Tevez and snog. I'm gonna have to. Gonna have to. These are the big life questions. These are the questions. So, question is, what would Weggy do? That is Pedro. That is the question. I don't know what he would do. I think he'd smack them all. Be honest. He would just smack. In fact, what he would do is he'd snog them all. He'd smack. No, he'd snog them all. He'd marry them and then just slap them around, smack them around. Hydration break. Another hydration break. Like what would? Yes. Where the third quarter switch is done. You are correct. You are correct. You are correct. The third quarter is now done. I can't actually believe that I'm watching an analysis. I can't believe I'm watching an analysis while football is going on. This is not right. Tell you what, I don't want to see this crap anymore. I do not want this to be brought into the game. If we're going to get this nonsense now, this is nonsense. this hydration break is nonsense. Difficult to rate Brazil's chances in this World Cup against such poor opposition. Now, I agree with you. I think that one of the biggest issues that I've got is is the same thing. Sorry to change the chains. Thoughts on water breaks. Heard a US commentary call it quarter time the other day and nearly smashed my TV. Snog Mario. I think the halftime interviews are also a bit crap. I mean, look, that this USism of this, and again, look, there's nothing wrong with American sports. American sports are designed for it. And Valley Joe says, I believe the final will have a halftime show. Oh my god. Valley Joe, jeez Louises. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with like a halftime show in the right places, right? I get that. If it's a final, then I can almost put up with that. If it's basketball, NFL, fine. I get that. But I mean, really, is the humidity that bad that you've got to have a hydration break for 3 minutes? I mean, I don't know. It's all about money. All about money. Well, American sports are fixed, aren't they? Because you can't win or lose, really. You can't win or lose in American sports, really, because there's no, you can't go up or down, really. Snog, marry, avoid, Kylie Minogue, Jennifer Lopez, Kelly Brook. I am avoiding answering that question in case my wife ever sees these videos, and I'm not going to be caught out on stream talking about Kylie Minogue, Lopez, or Kelly Brook. So you guys can answer that in the chat. I'm going to abstain from that. I think the halftime, yeah. Your mama's so stupid. She took a big spoon to the Super Bowl. Amazing. Halftime shows are 40. No, there can't be a 45-minute break. Surely, no chance. It can't be. Come on now. It's difficult to overlook France as all of their squad are quality. Are your water breaks sponsored by Macca's like in Australia? Won't be caught out with those. Well, look, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. That's a bit different, right? Because I can, I can talk my way around kissing another bloke. I can't talk about, kissing, another 3 women. So. Oh my god, I'm so warm. Oh, I'm so bloody warm. The game has gone. So look, here's a question. Let me ask you a question, Switch. Would you no, I'm kidding. JB's got, oh mate. I have, mate. I am sweating. I am sweating. I have, mate. I am sweating, mate. I'm sweating. I am sweating. American sports model is horrible. No promotion, relegation, and lower teams lose on purpose in order to get good players the following season. It's crazy. I've never really understood that. KK says maybe get Eindrick on loan. How did he do at Leon? How did he do? I mean, I mean, I'm in two minds. I mean, I wouldn't say no to him. This is a serious question, KB, JB. Ours are sponsored by Macca's. It's just money making. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what ours are. Clap, Snog, Slap, Fegels, Phil Jones, Maguire. Should have Switch says should have had a water break. Can you imagine? Oh my god. no, no, no. Nobody needs a water break that badly. Um, he's got pace and scores goals. I mean, um, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not against it at all. I'm not against it at all. Yeah, I'm not against that at all. I think that would be quite interesting player to sign. Would he be expensive though? On loan, maybe you get like a loan to buy. He was great on loan to player of the matches at Lyon. Uh, it's an interesting player. 14 starts, 5 goals, and 7 assists. That's not bad. That's not bad. But caveat to that is it is the French league. I'm not saying that can't translate into the Premier League. It would be interesting. I wouldn't mind investigating it. I wouldn't mind that at all. Player, sorry, player of the months. That's good. That's very good. That's very good. Because he's still young as well, isn't he? Was he 20, 21? 21? What happened with the West Ham? Is he 20? Wow, okay. Well, ridiculous. I mean, but the thing is though, the thing is with that is, are we setting ourselves up? Because, and again, the reason why I asked the question is I'm not saying that that's a bad example. Look, he is already he's reasonably experienced. Do we not need somebody more expensive? Fernandez, mate, it is becoming an absolute mess. Look, are United in pole position? So what is the latest? So the latest is this. Look, United at the moment are in pole position to sign the player. The player wants to come. We've negotiated with the player. We're speaking to the Hammers. So Mendes' big plan is basically to get everybody involved and to create a bidding war. Now, look, Madrid are not going to pay £85 million for a relegated player. They're just not going to. PSG are not going to do it. Arsenal are not going to do it. Tottenham might Tottenham might put in a bid of 80 million, but he doesn't want to go to Spurs. He's not going to go to Spurs. So the problem could be here is that is Mendes getting Spurs involved to keep that price high? Has Spurs poking their nose in kept the price high? Now what I think is going to happen is we are literally waiting. We are trying to get this deal done. From what I've heard, is 60 plus 10. We want to pay 70. We want to pay 60 plus 10, 65 plus 5. We will not meet the valuation. That is where we currently are. We will not meet the valuation, but neither will Madrid, neither will PSG. So if Spurs can somehow convince Fernandez to go to Spurs, but look, West Ham are bidding more. No one's paying that for him. So United are just look. I'm quite chilled. I'm quite chilled, and I think those of you who want the player should be quite chilled as well. Spurs are going to get him to switch. I don't think they will. No. DJ says we need an English core of Lewis Hall, Gibbs White, Bowen, Konsa, Palmer all day, any of these days for these lads. Heard Spurs got 300 million. I mean, that would be 300 million would be crazy, would be mad. KK says 50 to 60 is still too much. I agree. Make West Ham panic as they have to sell. I would say take 45 plus 10 if he does well. How much seasons does Bruno have left? I think Bruno Fernandes, what is he, 31? Bruno Fernandes, I think, is going to be one of those players that can play till he's like 38, but I don't think he's going to do it here. So I think Bruno Fernandes, maybe in 2 or 3 seasons, will probably look to move. I think this contract will be his last one. So if he signs the contract, I think it will be his last contract. And I think probably he'll be here till he's 34, 35. So I think he's got another 3 or 4 years left in him. Tell you what, Brazil need to Brazil definitely need to get a bit more clinical. Switch says 68 plus 1. How many seasons? 68 plus 1. What do I think? Yeah, I think he'll have another. I think he'll have a 3-year deal. 68 plus 1 with Vegas. We should get Brown. You've seen him, yes. Are you talking about Nathaniel Brown? Is that Nathaniel Brown? Because he's gone to Bayern Munich. Yeah, Nathaniel Brown has gone to Bayern Munich. He's gonna sign for Bayern Munich. Yeah, he's gone to yeah, he's gone to he's gone to Bayern, sadly. Agreed. I think we should have. I think we should have gone for him. But Bayern Munich, they get all the best players, don't they, as well? I mean, for me, Mendes of PSG, I really, really like him. I mean, Juff is an interesting one from West Ham, but again, are we going to go get? Are we going to get a bunch of West Ham players? Anthony Robertson, for me, I think is another interesting one, but I think after this World Cup, he's going to be expensive, and I think he's older as well. Truffet, I like Truffet. I think he's good. You think we get Hall is impossible? I don't think Hall is impossible. I think it'd be very, very difficult and very, very expensive to do. Look, I think if we went to Newcastle and said, "Here's 75," they would take it. But we don't want to do that. You know, I think Lewis Hall will be a next season signing. I think that I don't think we're going to get a left back. I think that we will. I think that we will. I think that we will probably. I think we do it next summer. Somerville, I don't think that's going to happen. KK, I agree with you. We need a left back, but the update today, is that we're not going to go for both a left winger and a left back. We're only going to go for one, and our preference is to go for a left winger. So I don't think we'll go for a left back. I think we'll go for a left winger. But I have to say, Lewis Hall, left wing is sorted in Rashford. I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Good night, Addy. I'll see you tomorrow. Look, KK, Look, you know what, KK? if basically if Rashford comes back, meaning that we can get a left back in a Lewis Hall, then maybe I would consider it. I would consider it. I don't think Rashford is going to stay. Even if Rashford stays, and KK, you could be on to something here, and I'll tell you for why. Right? Is this what KK is saying there? Is that we need a left back? Tick. Agree completely. Luke Shaw cannot cope. If this club thinks that Luke Shaw can cope with the Premier League and the Champions League, they are deluded, right? I agree with KK. I think we need a left back. As KK has just said there, is this. If Rashford stays as a left winger, and this club has come out and said that if it's not going to be a left back, it's going to be a left winger, and we're not going to get both. So if we get a left, if Rashford stays, and come on, England, DJ, mate, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. DJ, mate, it always humbles me when people are prepared to put in super chats. Mate, it really humbles me, and thank you, mate. Like it's unbelievable that people are prepared to super chat and come on to the channel and talk. And DJ, mate, I appreciate it, and thank you so much, my friend. As KK said, I'm saying Rashi ain't the best player in the world, but I'd rather keep him for a year or two and then let him go after we need a left back. This club is and KK, that's exactly what I agree on. The point I'm trying to make is this: if, for example, they say, look, it's either a left winger or a left back, and we're not going to do both, right? As you said, let's just say we go, right, okay, we need a left back more than a left winger. Agree with you. So if you're saying there, look, let's keep Rashford, we know he's not going to be the greatest, but what do we need more of? We need a left back more. So if Rashford stays and we're going to get a left back, then actually maybe that's not the worst way to think about it. The media, Simon Stone, has basically come out and said that United won't do both positions. They will either do a left back, and they'll either do a left winger. What happens, KK, if they don't get a left back and Rashford stays? Crazy, isn't it? Obviously, I've been saying Rashford staying as I got info. Unless they knock on the door, he goes to Bayern. But and exactly, look, K, I've been told the exact same things as you, my friend. So, but it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting if United will actually do something. Dorgu as left back. Dorgu's not a left back for me. Not for me. Dorgu is a left mid for me. I don't want to play him. I don't want to play him there. I get it though. I do. With Cucurella to Madrid, they have 3 left backs. Alvaro, Fran Garcia. Do we have an option for Alvaro, or can we go get him as he still be homegrown? Right. Yes. But Alvaro would be expensive. Alvaro would be expensive. The club said he's a left midfield. Yes, I know, but Amarin, I know, but Amarin flashback says football. Yeah, look, Garcia, Alvarez, sorry, Alvaro. I like Alvaro, but again, he's gonna cost. He's gonna cost what, 30, 40? He's going, and I don't think we've got any sort of clause in there. I don't think we've got an option. I don't think we've got a clause. How much we got? I reckon. So I reckon without I think without Edison, wow. Edison there was that was a hash. Um, I think without sales, I think we've got about 200 and between 200 and 230. That's what I think we've got to spend. I think without sales, I think we spend about 220. I think these reports of 300 million are well off. He ain't good. He got done that why Cucurella went to Madrid. I mean, I've not watched him play. I've not watched him play. Um, the 5 minutes in, I think look, Lewis Hall would be ideal. I think Lewis Hall's age, Premier League proven. I think Lewis Hall would be perfect. Um, I do. I think he'd be perfect. 30 for Alvaro is better than 50 for Hall. KK says I don't rate Hall. I mean I don't rate Hall at 75 million quid. Um, I would take a punt on Lewis Hall at 40 million. I wouldn't want to give you 75 million for him. Brown, I like him as well. I do. But Lewis Hall for me, look, I like him. I think he could be a good player, but I don't rate it at 75 million pounds. Not for me. I'll have a quick check to see if Fabrizio Romano has been on it. See what he's saying. Any news? Any news? Jamie says Haiti. Thanks for coming. Yeah, Haiti. Yeah, good old Haiti. Surprised Brazil haven't scored. Yeah, Billy Gilmore. You sent Alvarez, but he got bought last season. Uh, well, Haiti are just about to go out. Just about to go out. There you go. There you go. Haiti, I think the first team officially out of the World Cup. It was always going to be difficult. It was always going to be difficult for Haiti in this World Cup. But look, they are out. Matheus Cunha scored a great goal as well. Look, he scored two. Vinicius he got one as well. So absolutely fantastic. So look, guys, I am relatively quickly going to go. This obviously was the second stream of the night, and I do have to get some sleep. But look, I will be back tomorrow at some point. I might be back about 11:30ish, I think, tomorrow. We'll see what's dropped in the morning. We'll see what comes out overnight, and I will update you on all of the news. So look, guys, thank you so much for being with me. For those of you who have been across both streams tonight, so we did start streaming about 10:30 tonight, and thank you for you guys for being here on the stream with me on both streams. And look, you guys are absolute legends of the channel. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate the super chat from DJ as well. Absolute thank you. And thank you for the interactions on the channel. Thank you for putting in your views and opinions and being part of this amazing community. So look, guys, I will be back tomorrow. Have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I am JB. This is the United Devil channel, and I'll see you